Fundamentalist Christian Rick Joyner decided to give us all a science lesson and talk about the Big Bang. Ricky, take it away.
Actually, the Big Bang Theory did confirm there was a point of creation. There was a nanosecond when nothing existed in the physical universe, and a nanosecond later, all of the matter and all of the energy in the universe now was there instantly. And this has been pretty much a theory confirmed that everything came in one burst at one time. And it was when God said, "Let there be light."
He was close, man. He was trying to keep the train on the rails. And then all of a sudden, he was like, there's the Big Bang, and then there was a point where it all started, and I'm like, okay, you're doing good, buddy. Keep it going, keep it going. And then, right off the fucking rails, and God, the Creator, made everything. He just took a massive shit, just a heaping, steaming pile of feces on reason. He was using it for a little bit. He's like, well, Big Bang, guys, come on. Science. Hashtag science. It's real shit, dog. Let's get serious here. And then, God, the Creator, made all of you. Well, they're trying, man. They're moving in the right direction. It's actually true because, think about it. At least this guy, he really is crazy. He believes in he believes the Bible is literally true, okay? So this is actually relatively smart for him because that's more of a deist argument of, well, there's a God, and I guess that's what created us at the moment of the Big Bang. But what this shows you is that it's all stupid, whether you're a deist or a theist, as long as you believe in a particular religion, or even if you just believe in this abstract idea of God. The bottom line is, you're making it up. This proves it right here, man. You can't go from, well, in the Big Bang, we know that's true because we've had scientists actually measure out the edge of the universe and it keeps expanding. So then it's just a math problem. You come back and you do the math and you realize how long it would take until you get back to that point, right? And what is it, 13.9 billion years or 14 billion years, I think it is. So again, it's just a math problem. So they're accepting that part. But then they have to make that leap of logic because they don't have an answer for it. See, that's the thing is agnostics and atheists, which are basically the same thing because they answer different questions. One answers the question of what you believe, and the other answers the question of what you know. So anybody who's an atheist is an agnostic. Anybody who's an agnostic is an atheist. But basically, that's the only logically consistent position because that's when people say, well, look, before the Big Bang, we don't know what happened. And you know why? Because nobody knows what happened. We're all humans. We only know what we can test, what we can see, what we can figure out by doing our logical deductions, by going through the scientific process. And the only honest people in the world are the atheists and the agnostics, because they're the only ones that go, before the Big Bang, we don't know. Everybody else, the deists have to say, God, it was God. And the theists have to say, not only was it God, but God had a son, and the son was a hippie, and the son died and then came back to life, and he's three people, but he's one person. And then there was the talking snake and the burning bush and the seven-headed dragon and the old dude who lived to the age of 900 who had all the animals on the boat, and he made them fuck, and then the flood happened, and then the earth is flat, and all that stuff. So you have people who are just being honest and saying, we don't know, right? Then you have the people who say, it was God. And then you have the really stupid people who say, it was God and I know the details of what God is, down to the fucking clothes that he wears when you visit him after you die. So you have to be honest with yourself, man. And then people say, the only rebuttal from people who believe to what I'm saying right now is this. They go, well, how else could it have gotten here? Well, you can't explain it other than by invoking this almighty power that is God. And I don't know how many times I've addressed this on the show, but the rebuttal to that is comically easy because it is its own fallacy. It's called the fallacy of passing the buck. So look, what that means is even if we accept that logic, then who created the creator? Because by your own logic, you're saying, well, we need to have a creator because we're so complex and we look so designed, so there has to be a designer. Okay, but then God, by definition, would have to be much more complex than us and much more designed because he created us. So we'd have to be this almighty, super complex, super intricate thing, right? So then by your own logic, the God needs to be created too. So who created the creator? Is it a super God that created a God, and then a super God that created a super God that created a God, and then a super God that created a super God, and it goes on forever, ad infinitum. That's why it's called the fallacy of passing the buck, because you think you're answering a question, but you're just posing a harder question. So the only logically consistent answer is we don't know. But of course, that's why we don't really talk about it. We have people trying to figure it out, but we don't talk about it. Silly religious people stand in front of crowds and go, well, yep, Big Bang is an interesting thing, man. In 1 second, everything existed, and obviously, who did it? Yahweh.